Hello, how you doing? Today is Thursday, and we have a new name for this section. We used to call it kind of podcast, which we can steal if you want. But this is the trust the process section within the kind of podcast, whatever episode. Oh no,
It's
well,
kind of podcast, and the slogan below it
Slash.
is slash trust the process. So to summarize a little bit what we talked about last week, about this trust the process mantra that we had adopted, it is about just at some point be in control of what you really are doing into everyday life. Like, how is it that you contribute to the world and to you? And it doesn't matter if you are going through a negative mindset. This mantra would trust the process, even if you feel negative, even if you felt like not doing it, or even if you felt overwhelmed by the world news or what is happening. There is a way that you can uplift you from the inside out, and keep you going, because your life and your loved ones and your family and all your community will benefit from this light that you have. And it is not about just avoiding reality and just saying, oh, I'll stay positive, I don't want to know about the news. It's actually knowing about the news. And even though you said, okay, I trust myself, I can go through this, I can still be a good person, even if the world is turning absolutely upside down. I can still be in charge of how do I feel from the inside, and then for have an impact, right? So
yes. I mean, the thing is, why? Who are we to just sit down here and talk about something like this, right? I mean, we are not psychologists or any kind of these motivational speakers that they know their speech super good, and they help a lot of people. And but I think our journey as musicians, and a personal journey, has taught us enough experiences in life for the last 20 years that kind of qualify us in a way to share and to talk, because what we have gone through is not that we are here just showing off about what we've been through. It's really about sharing the possibilities, no, sharing the story, so you can find that there are more possibilities for you. All the content that we are and we won't be stopping telling you that all the content that we are putting up is really it's a service, right? We want to share something positive, and for us to be here and just talk openly about what we have experienced, and that has given us good things, good insights, and sometimes learn from obviously the bad experiences, is something that when we share that, we hope you learn from. And so we just had a talk with our friend Scott Jurek. Scott Jurek is an amazing human being. He's a friend we met many years ago, and we had a talk for a different project that you'll know soon, right? It's just such a cool project we have. And he's an ultra runner, like a professional athlete. He broke all the records as an ultra runner. And we just talked for an hour, and we went deep into what matters for for him as a person, as an athlete, and as a vegan life entrepreneur, an
Entrepreneur, no.
not advocate. Well, he, yeah, well, no entrepreneur, because I don't think he has
It's
business related to the vegan world, right? Well,
a,
in a way,
uh,
because he writes books and
he writes books, but he's an athlete, an
Yeah.
author, and also a physiotherapist. And we talked with him because we're planning. We have like a project here also, um, about all the amazing people that we have come to
Met.
know through these years, and so we decided to come up with 6 questions and have a talk with them, and just taking advantage of all this pandemic thing that everybody's at home, and that we can now everybody's a little bit more available to have time to do interviews. So this is a project that will soon, it's not gonna be ready tomorrow, but soon. But we just finished to do the interview with Scott Jurek, and we also talked with him. How is he doing at this moment? He lives in Colorado, in Boulder, Colorado, with his beautiful wife and 2 kids. And how are things over there at the moment, with all this tension going on and all of that, and how can you stay actually sane
approaches,
on
yeah.
those on these moments? How can you actually stay
positive.
positive, or at least not so overwhelmed? And that's the idea behind all of this, and we would love to share what we experienced, not because we feel like we're a psychologist.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why it's very important
No,
why
but
we share
because
this.
a lot of you guys ask us questions. How do you guys do it? Or how do you manage to do this and that? And well, me and Rodrigo were quite resilient. We both are very. We can go through difficult times, and we just face them like with a smile. And even though you don't feel like smiling, that's another great scientific discovery. Like when you smile, actually, even in the inside, you're like, ah, God damn it. If you smile, it's scientifically you are sending signals to your brain that everything is good, and therefore you have much better approach to all the problems. Because when you don't smile and you go like in a bad road, then you're not very good at taking good decisions for you, you know. And that's why it's so important, because a lot of people, like I have family members, cousins, that they're being more cynical, and they're like that, you cannot be positive, this is a moment, this is horrible what's happening, and blah, you can't deny this. It is, I agree, we can't deny what is
denying,
it's
yeah.
not about denying it. It's about how can we show up, how can we face, and from a much better perspective and from a much better position, all the problems. How can you help? Because that's the true question. How can we help? Or are we gonna add more negativity to the things, you know? And that's how we actually just insist and trust the processes, trust you and that part of you that is, it's gonna be stay sane.
What happens when you don't trust? Because I mean, we've read for the last, I don't know, 15 years through all the things that we've been through, and that's why in a way we feel a bit comfortable talking about this. We've read so many books about psychology and meditation and even sometimes a little bit mystic, you know, philosophy and all the, you
I
know.
do that mystic philosophy. I do like totally submarine stuff.
All the time.
I do that all the time.
So yeah, so because we've gone through stuff and we've found help here and there through the years. I mean, a lot of people, we've been there. A lot of people feel like, I cannot trust myself, you know? That's one of the, you know, when you're feeling like, I can't even trust myself, because that is a problem. Because you say like, okay, trust the process. But if you don't trust yourself, where do you start?
But like from a Buddhist perspective, this is when it goes funny. From a Buddhist perspective, we have many selves. You know, so
But it's not funny.
which self is the one you don't trust? Because I'm sure there's a part of yourself, just one part that you can actually trust. And don't believe me, just read all about neuroplasticity and neuroscience that is out there, that now things God or things Huitzilopochtli, the Aztec gods, whatever you want to thanks. Now all these, if Eastern philosophy, all of these hippie, ancestral Indian philosophies, now they can be scientifically proved through neuroscience and neuroplasticity. So our brains, they can be wired in such a way that rewired
Yeah.
to change. But why it is important to change? Because we, as individuals, we do have power, and we have a personal power and an economical system, and we have a power at the political system, and we have power as in our community. And that's what you need to focus on, because if you focus on the things that are out of your reach, then we end up like watching the politicians and watching what all the brutality that we're living at this moment. So that's why it's so important that individuals as us, as you, and take this personal choice and just stick to it and trust that, and do the research
and give and open. See, this morning I got in one of my WhatsApp groups, one of many, I got this video of these silly videos that people share about this, but it wasn't a silly video, by the way, but about this woman, like indigenous woman, selling bread, or bread, empanadas, I don't know how you call it, like pastries. So she was carrying the pastries here.
Well, in a basket, like
in
indigenous people put like a big basket or a big
on the head, like on top of the head,
and they just walk like this with no problem.
And then this guy in a car asking her, hey, good morning, can I buy all the pastries you have? I said, like, no, it's early in the morning, I'm just going to sell them. So yeah, that's why I want to buy them all. And so like, no, but I cannot sell you, because then I need to sell there, I can sell you half, but I need to go all the way there. And say like, no, but I'm gonna pay you even more. How much they are? Like 10 pesos, I give you 12, even more. And she said like, I can't, and then she left, and the guy just said, well, and in that group, some people laughed. I don't know about their view, but I know a lot of people, because that was like a viral video on YouTube, that found like themselves thinking that how silly the woman was, because she didn't want to sell them, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just like basic knowledge, but I know a lot of people doesn't see it that way. When you are so immersed on negativity, what world do you see? And obviously, to me, that woman was thinking of the people that actually wanted more pastries, or the people her clients that probably are waiting for her, right? And she thought about them, whether and I saw honesty in her. I saw sense of sharing and selling, and because she actually told him, I can sell you some, but not all, because all my clients are there too,
And also it's a sense of business, because what are the clients that are going to sustain your business? So the one that is going to pass by, take all the product, it might never come back. And then all your faithful clients will be pissed off with you because you sell them all.
Yes.
Probably. Well, I haven't seen the video. But
and it's funny. I mean, when you see it straight away, it's funny. But then you think twice, like, this woman was actually I mean, she had big heart, and she didn't accept the higher price. She was like, no, 12 pesos, no, 10. So she was so honest. But
That cost 10.
yes, and you see life when we talked to Scott this morning, and you just talk about solutions, or at least what you can do so you can have an impact within your community.
Mm-hmm.
That is what makes a change, and you cannot expect everyone else to change the world for you, because it's your world at the end of the day.
Yeah, so essentially at the moment it's just like for us it's important to speak out of what we really think about what is happening at this point in time in history. We know in the States things are going a little too crazy and we feel sad. We've been on tour in the States for so many years. We have so much faithful fans, and the people there always been well received, happy, and we feel so grateful and thankful with this country, and we just feel sad about all the things that are happening in our own country too, because all of those things unfortunately are happening here. And it's just like we said, all the bad people had no nationality or belong to any race in particular, because here in Mexico too we have some policemen doing the same thing to innocent people. And this is the same race, it's the same color, it's just like it's the bad it's the evilness, so. And it's, how can you stay positive when all of those things are happening? But how can we explain that is when we need to be more strong, more resilient, more and be more accountable for the world in this moment more than ever. And it does sound crazy, but that's where we go. Trust the process, trust in yourself, and stay positive and be good to with the ones that you have that surrounds you. And anything else a part of that if you can do, like sign a petition or something like this, would be good. Meditation is always very good, although it might seem so super selfish because it's an action that you would do on your own. But it will rewire your brain, it will reset. Or even if you want to go for a walk, if you can possibly do that, we can do that here locally in Ixtapa. There's not much people, so it's okay. There's not a single law at the moment that says no. So you can go for a walk and refresh your ideas and all of that. And that's how we stay positive. That's how you will be able to give solutions to all of the challenges that you have to face in your community and with your family. So,
and reading is great.
yes, another recommendation, like all the books that we recommended through the week, they're also.
And as well, there is an app that I use, which is Insight Timer. Probably a lot of you use it. A lot of online, well, in that app you can find courses. If you suffer anxiety, depression, like lack of sleep, whatever, you can find a lot of great teachers there. And what else you hear, like helpful?
And even like the Insight Timer is a very good app, but it costs like $60 or something, and I know for a lot of people that would not be a chance to buy that one. So if you have internet and all of that, well, you can go to YouTube, and we're gonna put some links below to the teachers that have influenced us and the ones that we think they're a blessing to this planet. They're here, and so we're gonna recommend all of that from our bottom of our hearts. And then they're on YouTube, so you don't need to pay. But if you also have this extra cash, that Insight Timer app is very good. I have it too, and I sometimes when I get up early and it's like, whoa, what happened yesterday? What to see the news, and you see what's happening with all these racial hate, and then you see all the what we do to animals, what we do to nature as a species. And then you get up in the morning and just like, well, what the hell? So I have that inside timer thing. So I do my day, and I put some talk after talk from different people, like doctors and scientists, and it's just at the back, and in front of my head is all this negative talk, and at the back with the background is all of these people talking, and I change it and change it to another one, switch to another one, and after 1 hour that I finish to do all my stuff in the morning, feeding kitty cats, everything, I start to kind of feel again reset and happy to face the day and say that we can do many things, and you can check on all the things you can still provide and give to the world. So but that's a good app to have, but there's not the only one, and I'm sure you have your own ways, and you will be more than happy to see if you want to share your ways with us. That'd be great because other people can see it, and that creates a sense of, oh, we are all in this, you know.
Yes, but for us, it's like doing all that plus exercise plus good healthy food, healthy habits. I personally don't watch TV unless it's like Barcelona matches, and which doesn't happen very often these days. And recently, I've been watching. The only series I watched is I'm watching Michael Jordan.
Oh, the Last Dance,
the
right?
last is incredible, but it's like before this one, I don't just turn on my TV at all, and I think I find that helpful for me because I get super distracted, and I prefer to use my energy to read or whatever. If I turn the TV on, I try to watch something like a documentary or something. I don't flick through the channels. I barely watch films these days, which films are great, but that works for me. And if you just find your ways, but do something, do as much as you can every day, especially
or if
days.
you don't feel like just do one little thing, just smile. It doesn't cost anything. And when you are overwhelmed and pissed off, it's very hard to smile, but you can do it, and you'll see the difference. And don't believe us, just check the links below. We're gonna just provide all of the things that we can possibly, well, not all because there's a lot, but a few of the most relevant, and that they might be helpful for you.
And sorry, I was gonna say that for most of the posts we have, like I mean, if it's related to music, I mean, sometimes we don't have time to answer all of the messages, but for these particular talks, well, you know, because we are kind of creating a community since we started, you know, interconnecting with you. This is very important stuff, and we can, if you have questions and you want to share something, especially when you are going through problems, when you know people is going through the same things, then you don't feel lonely. We can answer and help you to, you know, to guide you to what helps us in the past, and to send you links, as Gab's saying, and personally sharing experiences if they relate to us, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you go through some issue in particular, and we're gonna answer and help you as, you know, as much as we can, and send you all the material that helped us in the past.
And it'll help us now, because also today for us in the industry that we belong as a band, and the record industry and labels and promoters and all of that at the moment is a standby. There's nothing happening. Nobody's on tour. So it is for a lot of our people that is our crew, and all the crew and in the world is like it's crazy. It's absolutely nuts, and for a lot of people this is just extremely hard times because they have families, they have all of things. Musicians like us that we rely to be on the road, we need to we need to start to see what are we going to do. Well, me and Rod, we always say, what are we going to? We always play, because that's what we do. And we trust the process that something will do, because we don't know until when really is it that we're gonna go on the road again. But for the moment, we're still happy to be here and sharing all of this with you, and I hope all these talks are helpful to you, and we'll solve it, all of us will. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. That's what we believe. And in C'est la vie, we'll send you a big hug and a lot of love, a ton of love, and stay healthy and eat more plants. And
Ciao.
thank you. Ciao.